So, for starters, I'm going to be reviewing Catwoman. But surprise! It's the one with Halle Berry. The one everyone despises and actually gotten a Razzie for. Which, let's be serious, okay? So, you all know the story and the flaws with it. The story itself does pretty much suck, especially with the villain aspect of Berlin with the cosmetic cream that causes you to never age and your skin is like marble to where you can't feel nothing. But stop it! Stop it! I'm trying to give a review here. She wants to be part of the show too. But yeah, so despite that shit with the cosmetic cream, it's like a revenge tale which has been told many times, like from The Crow to The Punisher to even now Peppermint, the Brave One, and many others. That's just, you know, revenge tales, Us Be on Your Grave, or others. But Halle Berry herself did not deserve that Razzie. She did really good. Seriously, she did great. Like she was. I know she wasn't Selena Kyle, but the idea and part of the story where there's different Catwoman in the world, I actually like that aspect of it because it opens up possibilities to, you know, there being more than just Selena Kyle Catwoman. Which I understand some people might hate it because it's not in the comics with Batman and all that, I don't believe. But the movie itself, with Halle Berry, the costume I thought was really good. It wasn't no Michelle Pfeiffer costume, but it was something different. They were going for something different and bold. And but the acting, I mean, is really, I think, really good, honestly. You know, Halle Berry does her part very well. You know, she brings the Catwoman-esque character to the role, and she's sexy as fuck in that, and I'm not even into women, but I would totally fuck her with that outfit on. I mean, the CGI, I agree, isn't good, but hardly none of the CGI was good back in the early 2000s anyway. And they're still not that great in CGI, so there's that. But it's different, like not your typical revenge story with, you know, like how I used to say, like I mentioned, because unlike the others that know who they're after, Patience Phillips, or Catwoman, doesn't know who killed her exactly. She thinks it's Hedera, the owner of her company that she worked for. But I mean, she made a better Catwoman than she did Storm, I thought. And I know Michelle Pfeiffer was amazing. It's like one of my favorite characters of Michelle Pfeiffer. She's one of my favorite actresses. But at the same time, Halle Berry is one of my favorite actresses as well, because they both bring an equally amount of um, great films and have both given amazing performances in like half their movies. Like I've been following Halle Berry in her movies since I was a kid. I liked her. Mainly because of the X-Men franchise and Flintstones, the movie, which, I mean, you can say she's better than that, but I mean, it's supposed to be like a parody of Sharon Stone, I believe, anyway. Kind of like a Basic Instinct or whatever. But if you look at her more first movies she was in, like Losing Isaiah, she's really good in that. She goes from like a drug addict to a fit mother, trying to get her custody of her son again, and just Lang's in it. It's a really good movie. And sorry, I remember my Tainer, but you can still understand me, I think. Which I realized, that if they didn't make this movie with Halle Berry, they would have very well made one with Michelle Pfeiffer, because they're in the talks of having a standalone Catwoman movie with Michelle Pfeiffer after Batman Returns, which never happened, and I can only imagine how Michelle Pfeiffer feels about that.
Gotham Lady Review, exclusively at Rex Department.
I know, me too. That does really suck, but, I mean, we did get this flop, I guess you're gonna call it, which I watched it 100 times, and I love it. But even so, the main reason for me doing this review, not just because I really liked the film and it got so much hate and negativity that I didn't deserve, is also that, I mean, despite, or considering how bad, like a lot of other DC movies are and can be, especially in today, like, with the previous ones we've had. Yeah. So, I just hate how everyone jumps to her and Catwoman, how bad she was, when they think of Halle Berry now, when she's moved beyond that, and like Gothica, which is amazing in, and like Kidnap or even The Call. And y'all really need to check out Frankie and Alice, which is either inspired or based on a true story, I can't remember. There's a difference between the two. But anyway, she's really great in that. She was nominated for it. So, next time you think of how bad she was in Catwoman, just think about that movie I mentioned. And I do understand everyone's frustration, again with Michelle not getting her own Catwoman standalone film, because that would have been so much better, honestly. But you gotta think, Catwoman, the movie, was like a decade later, and it's just not that bad. Like, I still like the movie. I just don't like, like I said, the villain scheme, and then honestly, with Sharon Stone, I really believe that she should have been another Catwoman, like a evil Catwoman that was given the power. But then after her getting given that gift or whatever from the cats, she gets corrupted or whatever. Just something better than what we have gotten with the cream, and her trying to hide the fact that it's poison, basically. But however, it's still really difficult to believe that Halle Berry won an Oscar. Well, it's not difficult to believe because she's amazing, but just considering how she won an Oscar, but Michelle Pfeiffer still hasn't. She's still only nominated. Which I believe her Oscar is still coming. It's on the way. If she'd stop being these flops like Mother and Murder on the Orient Express, which, she was fine in it and them, but unfortunately the movies didn't go well. But anyway, stop. My cat is destructive. Because I'm not reviewing her. It's not always about you, Pumpkin. But now that I got through the positives of the film, I'm gonna acknowledge the negatives, because they are in there. I'm not gonna pretend this film is perfect, because everyone thinks it's not, and I know it's not either, but it's better than what it was said to have been. So, first negative would have to be CGI. Second, stop! The other negative is the comedy. It's a little... It falls flat with, like, Halle Berry's friend, I forgot her name. Anyway, it doesn't hit home with the comedy, really, but, like with the damn, catnip thing where Halle Berry's sniffing it, or when she's hissing at the dogs, and when she's eating the sushi, like, really fast. I mean, that part is actually funny, but it's because it's so stupid, and just because she has cat powers, that means she has the literal desires of a cat, like wanting to eat fish, or hating the rain, or loving catnip. But the soundtrack does suck. It's not good. Except I really do like the main theme and the titles that's playing in the background right now. It's Egyptian, which I really like that. And it goes along with, the Catwoman around the world thing, and then her jewelry is from Egypt, so it kind of matches with that too. Which that's not really that important. But, oh my god. Pumpkin! Anyway, we have a guest. This is Pumpkin. Say hello. So, yeah. The CGI cats are not good at all. It's so obvious which ones are CGI and which ones are real. They should have just had real cats throughout the whole movie. I don't know why they had to use CGI when the cat Midnight blew in her mouth, whatever, or coughed, or whatever the fuck that was. That part is lame too. Like, it's full of cheese, and then, when she arises, from her death and becomes Catwoman, sorry, she, gets this cat vision where she can see, like, things that are, like, far away, up closer, like the seagull scares her, or, that bug, whatever that's on the ground, she, like, starts clawing at it. And then I hated the part that, inspired the whip, when she has, like, the bong, or, water hose, or whatever the fuck it is, at the party where she hits that guy on the shoulder. That was so stupid. Like, I hate that part. But, yeah. All I'm saying really is that I get the problem with the film itself, but with Halle Berry's performance, I don't see anything wrong with it. Other than the fact that it's not Selena Kyle, but that's not her fault. That's all on the writers or the director. But even the costume in Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer's costume doesn't get sold every year on Halloween, unfortunately. But Halle Berry's does, still to this day. But then again, Catwoman, the film, is, after all, known as one of the worst superhero movies ever. So, and I thought Halle Berry's a hell of a lot better than Anne Hathaway. I don't know what that shit was. Don't have a damn whip. I appreciate Nolan and his efforts and making the characters darker, but it needs the fucking whip. Anyway, guys, just so you know, I made this mask myself for Comic-Con. What do you think? And as well, what do you think of my review? If you came to hear just a rant about the Catwoman and how it sucks, then sorry. But I have more respect for my girl Halle Berry. But I also have respect for Michelle Pfeiffer, so, yeah. It's gonna be a cat fight eventually between them two, I'm telling ya. But anyway, this review makes me feel all dirty. But anyway, me and my press hope you enjoyed this review. Say bye, pumpkin. Say bye-bye.